Hey y'all, it's Beer Third Machine. Today is going to be what's sold, but these are all going to be over $50 and most are going to be over $100, so stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome if you're new to the channel. My name is Julian, also known as the Beer Third Machine here on YouTube, and I buy stuff and flip it online for a living, make YouTube videos about it. If you are new, my channel is also about like haul videos and the day in the life of a eBay reseller who does it full time, like a daily grind type of video. So today we're going to go over, I think it's only 12. I picked different things, like I could show you a whole bunch of golf clubs or golf iron sets that sold over $100, but what I want to do is kind of split it up and show you a whole bunch of different things and explain each thing, you know, not in depth, but kind of tell you what to look out for that will sell over $50 all the way up. I think my highest one might be like $175 or $200. So let's go ahead and get started. I will tell you how much I had in them or how much I would pay for an item like this. So the first item right here is going to be some Callaway Solar fairway woods. Now this is a female set. Now anything Callaway is usually pretty good, but the older stuff is going to be a lot less expensive or worth usually than the newer stuff. So when you're comping out Callaway stuff, and I always say this on golf clubs, make sure you comp out everything on the head of the club because that is a huge difference. I mean, some Callaway stuff, I sell Callaway irons for like $10 to $15 a piece. If you were to get new Callaway irons, they would sell for like $100 sometimes a piece, or the you know, driver might sell for $300 or $400 if it's a new Callaway. So what you need to do is comp out the new clubs and the old clubs to see how much they actually go for. You can usually tell a new club from an old club. It just like, it looks a lot newer. Do you know what I'm saying? The design is new. It looks like, you know, a lot better than the older clubs. A lot of the older clubs are a lot smaller, and a lot of those have steel shafts. A lot of the newer clubs have graphite shafts. But these right here, I was actually at a yard sale, and I forget how much I paid for them, but I wasn't more than $10. And I knew that these were newer just by the way they looked and the heads of the clubs and the shapes of the heads of the clubs. So I purchased them and they sold pretty quickly for $145 plus shipping. And I did that as an iron, a wood set, just because I knew that separating them, I probably wouldn't have got as much money. Like, you know, shipping would have been more money. So definitely selling them as a wood set is a good idea. If you ever get hybrids and you have a hybrid set, I would definitely not, you know, separate those, because hybrid sets also go for good money, and also iron sets. If you have a whole iron set, I wouldn't separate them. I would sell the whole set together. Obviously, it fetches a lot more money. These right here, I did a shoe video the other day of like what shoes did I sell. These were not on it, but these are really good boots. I'll probably do like a part 2 of my shoes because there's a ton of other shoes out there that I look out for. But Frye boots is a huge bolo that I always look out for. And these were Frye boots men's. They are this square toe with the harness on the sides. They were a smaller size. They were size 7.5 for men, so that is a smaller shoe, which I think that's why it took so long for these to sell. They took about 2 months, but I only got them for $6 at a Salvation Army, and they went for $55 plus shipping. So Frye boots, some of them are super expensive, so you obviously comp those out, but usually Frye boots are a very good pickup. Coleman lanterns, again, Coleman lanterns are hit or miss in my book. I picked up Coleman lanterns worth $5. This one was worth $61. I think the look of the Coleman lantern, like the condition, is everything. You get an old Coleman lantern that's never been used, a lot more money, and that's kind of what this one was. If this one was used, it was very, very little. It had really good condition. It would, on the bottom it said 6 of 62, so I think that was the year it was produced, and this went for $61.50. I put that up on an auction, so it sold in 10 days. But you need to comp out Coleman lanterns. There's some worth way more than this, and there's a lot worth way less. So comping them out is really imperative to Coleman lanterns. This right here is a Ken Onion Work Sharp knife sharpener, and this one actually needed the belt. When I got it home, the belt was kind of jammed in there, so I just cut the belt off, and basically this sharpens knives. And it doesn't look like a knife sharpener, but at the very top there's like places you put the knife, and this belt goes around, and there's different belts you can put on to sharpen it, polish it. But it's a very good little tool. I got this, I think, for $10 a long time ago at the auction. Now these, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, these are ones that have sold within the last like 30 days, 35 days or something like that. These aren't just sold in the last week or anything. I pulled some old ones just so I can show you some stuff to look out for. So this one right here, it did sell relatively fast. I only had $10 in that, so $10 is a pretty good price to pay for it. If you had the belts with it, they were well up in the $100, so that's a good bolo. I've never seen it before, but that would be something like in the thrift store or in a yard sale that somebody's just trying to get rid of and they forgot how much they paid for it or something. So Ken Onion Work Sharp Knife Sharpener is definitely a big bolo for that. Now, if you watch my show again, I have a huge love-hate relationship for these combo units. This one right here is a Panasonic, and there's the model number right there. Went for $80 plus shipping, so probably close to $100 somebody paid for that, and has the remote. I'm getting pretty picky on the combo units I pick up. I want to be over $50, and if I can get the remote, that's even better, just because they're kind of a pain. They're hard to ship, but I will definitely ship them if there's, you know, money to be made. Not a big deal, but a lot of times they don't work, so you got to take them back to the Goodwill, and there's time invested in all that. So combo units, the biggest thing I would say if you're going to go after combo units is make sure that there's a return policy where you're picking them up from. Like at my Goodwill, I have 3 days to return it. And make sure you comp it out with the correct model number on the combo unit so you can actually see how much it's worth. These Sony Handycams are a huge bolo. I didn't realize how much these things were worth. I picked this up for near nothing at a yard sale, and it sold very quickly. This one had night vision, and this was an 8mm video camcorder. It went for $200 plus shipping, and when I bought it, it came with all this stuff. It came with you know, the tapes that were brand new, the charger, the batteries, everything worked on it perfectly fine, and it even came with the case. Huge bolo here, Sony Handycams. That's the model number right there. I know there's a whole bunch, but usually they're a pretty good pickup no matter what the model number is, especially if it has night vision. But definitely do your homework on them. And I have never had one not work. I'm sure there's going to be some that don't. I actually have 2 right now that I've ordered chargers for, so I can get the chargers in and sell them for more money than just selling them for, you know, not tested. But big bolo right there. These Sonos Connects, this is a ZP120. Now, these were the actual wired ones. These Sonos, if they are Bluetooth, go for a huge amount of money, like huge, like $300, $400, $500, $600. Look this brand up if you don't know it. This is a super high-end brand for like little amplifiers. This one's a streaming media thing, and one I could actually play music out of. So definitely a huge bolo. This one for $175 plus shipping, but this is on the low end. These Sonos can go way higher than $175. This one right here is an Olympus 35 RD 35mm camera. I got this for $10 at the Goodwill. Had no idea how much this thing was going to be worth. Came home and researched it, and it went for $160 very fast. But this was in like immaculate condition. Nothing wrong with it. No scratches, no fungus in it. I think it just sat somewhere for a really long time. But a lot of these 35mm cameras are worth money, but a lot of them aren't. So what you need to do, again, if you're I'm like a broken record, you need to comp these things out before you buy them. But I'm telling you right now, the Olympus 35 RD is going to be a good buy right there, because that thing went for a ton of money and sold very fast. This is a Canon Mini Troll downrigger. Has a 4-pound weight and went for $65 plus shipping. Shipping was pretty big on this. A downrigger is something you use in fishing, that you actually set the line to the depth that you want where the fish are on your depth finder. So this was a mini one, so I'm guessing for a smaller boat, or one you can attach to your boat and take off without being affixed on the actual boat. This actually went overseas, so the shipping was outrageous on this. They were well over $200 because this was a big item and very heavy. But downriggers and Canon, some of the newer ones are, you know, $500, $600, $700. Old ones, you can't even give them away. So what you need to do, there is a model number usually on these, and you need to go ahead and comp those out. But they are actually a pretty good buy because they're kind of desirable in the fishing community, especially that brand. This Clemson Tigers golf bag was a 8-way. It says reed because it's actually missing the top of it, like the little rain guard. But this went for $75, and the buyer did pay shipping. Golf bags aren't that hard to ship. Actually, they're super easy. Just go on Amazon and you buy like a 12x12 or 10x10 box that's about 36 inches high, and I just throw them in there. Like, I've barely even wrap these. If I wrap them, it is in small bubble wrap. If it's a very expensive bag, if it's like a cloth bag like this, these things are pretty tough. It takes a lot of force to damage these. I've never had one damage. I put it in the box, pack it up, and I usually ship those with FedEx, and I've never had a complaint yet. And I think I've sold only like 10 golf bags, but I don't shy away from golf bags anymore because I just got that box from Amazon. Now, the box did cost probably $3 or $4, maybe $5 a box, so make sure you add that into the cost of the goods when you're selling it. This is a good brand too. TaylorMade is one of my favorite brands to pick up. This is a Ghost Spider SI72. I'm only throwing this one in there just because putters are worth a ton of money, but some of them are not. So a lot of people are like, oh, putters are the best thing in the world. They are. I mean, there's putters that are worth $300, $400, $500, $600. This one was worth $115 plus shipping. But a lot of TaylorMade stuff that looks like this isn't worth $115. So you need to go ahead and comp it out, because there's certain models that are a lot less and some are a lot more. But TaylorMade is always, if you see a brand like in the thrift or somewhere and you can comp it out, TaylorMade is always worth at least the lookup to see how much that club's going for. These right here are going to be 2 Penn reels. Penn, if you watch my last What Sold, I was talking about Penn spin fishers. These are Penn 320 GTIs. Now there are 2 here, so really they went for $100, so about $50 a piece. They were trolling rods, and trolling reels, and they were in working order. And Penn is usually a really good pickup. Now Penn also has models that aren't so good and some that are super high end. Usually their super high end stuff are gold. They look gold. There's like slammers, baitcasters, spin fishers that are gold in color. And they usually, when you see that, are going to go for a little bit more money. But some of these, like these right here, don't have any gold on them, but they were a newer model, so they did go for $50 a piece. But Penn is usually always a good pickup also, or at least a comp out to see exactly how much they go for. And the thing about that is, if it is a higher end fishing reel, it can be parted out and people will buy the parts for a lot of money. If it's not a high-end fishing reel, for maybe the fishing reel like in pre-owned condition goes for $50, $30, parting that out is going to be pretty difficult because the parts aren't going to be worth a ton of money. Maybe the handle and maybe like the drag knob on the top might be worth some money, but usually the higher end spin fisher stuff goes for a lot of money in parts. Like you can sell the handle for like $20 and a whole bunch of stuff. You can actually part out fishing reels if you want to take them apart. So right there, I think that was 12 or 13 that have sold for me higher than $50 and actually relatively quickly. These are all fast movers. They sold pretty fast for me within like weeks of them being on eBay instead of months and months and months. So hopefully you've seen something here that you didn't know before. Hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully you can go out there and find some of these items and make some big flips and some huge profits. So you know I will always catch you on the next one.